to our channel again.
And this is class 7 of our beginners series. We're going to start this class with Garudasana, which is a balance in action. So stand in the centre of your mat. So with Garudasana, it sometimes can be quite tricky if you've got quite stiff hips to get the balance. And if this is the case, if you've got a wall handy, then just take your back to the wall, which will help tremendously with the action. First of all, you're going to bend your knees and then take your right leg over your left.
So you can see here I'm holding this up so that I've got a better chance of wrapping. It's also making me a bit unstable.
Yes, so you can see here quite a lot of action on the hips. Sometimes people find it very difficult to get the foot around the calf. Don't give up with this. Take your bottom to the wall and see if you can actually get the action with a little bit more support. To take the arms, you're going to mimic the legs. So you're going to take your left arm over the top of your right arm. And keep that lift out of the chest. See that the abdomen is drawing back to the spine. And keep the action stable, steady and strong by gripping those hips in well. Take a few breaths and then come out of the action.
So it is a bit destabilising, that pose. You can start out, if your balance isn't that great, you can start out with your back to the wall. Don't mess your knees around. If the feet won't go round that much, don't worry about it. And I would say as well, if it's really difficult for you, work seated onto a chair. You can always get this wrapping action with the legs seated to the chair.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, at first, sometimes our body doesn't always do what we want it to do. So we just have to gradually unfold it through time. We're coming for Parsvottanasana now.
We'll do the other side.
Oh, yeah, we're not coming for Parsvottanasana. We'll do the other side. So we're going to balance everything out. Okay, so this time you take your left leg over your right. Good. And again, gripping those hips nicely. Oh.
You can see this side is a little more difficult for me. So I've got to sit into it to get that action.
Alright, and then when you're ready, you can take the arms. Same action, you're going to mimic the legs and take the hands together. Just be there, really focus. If you find balance is difficult, then just look straight ahead. Try not to let the focus sway left or right, just immediately forward.
Okay,
and
I went again.
If you do lose your balance, then you can take your bottom to the wall, as we've said, or you can work with a chair. Okay, so Parsvottanasana now. So this is a forward-facing action. So you're going to jump your legs wide apart. Put your hands on your hips for a moment. Turn your left foot in and your right foot out. Keep the legs absolutely straight and grounded. Roll your shoulders back and down. And when you come forward, see that you come forward with an open chest. Shoulder blades to the back of the waist. Hinge forward. Make sure that you don't lead with your abdomen. Draw the abdomen back towards the spine side. Be sharp in your back foot, so you've got to see that you push the heel down. If you find that you get a little bit imbalanced with this, then you can put the heel onto a slight height, a book, or if you've got a foam block, you can press down onto that. Taking the hands to the floor, or you can use a couple of bricks, yoga bricks, for your hands, which we're shown here. And you're aiming to get the hips nice and level. Good. Pushing back with the back leg. And keep the action of the upper body. So these shoulder blades need to reach towards the back waist. And just be here for a little while so that you can feel the extension throughout the legs. Throughout the side waist, the chest opening, then taking a breath in and coming up. Turning the feet to face forward, coming for Parsvottanasana to your left side. If you need to have bricks, you can actually replace these bricks with a couple of books if you haven't got bricks. So just utilise whatever you have around you.
You can always do this to the seat of a chair as well if it's a little too low for you with the bricks.
Okay, lifting your chest and extending forward. Good. Lifting the abdomen as you go forward, pushing into your back leg, keeping the chest nice and open. You see here with Leo, her elbows are facing up, so it's going to keep her chest really nice and open, those collarbones nice and broad, and then placing the hands. So if you're quite mobile and flexible, you can keep all of these actions and the strength in the pose, then of course you can take your hands to the floor, as you can see here. But otherwise, take the hands a little bit high. It's more important to get the preparation right before going for the full pose. Keep the chest lengthening, shoulder blades towards the back waist, and then coming up out of the action. And turning the feet to face forward. And just stand in Tadasana for a few moments. Just engage with the breath. Be aware of the body from the base all the way towards the crown of the head. See that there is an energy with the legs. The knees are lifted, the thighs are lifted, and you're lifting out of pelvis. Roll your shoulders back and down, and lift your sternum chest. We're coming now for preparation for Virabhadrasana III, so we're not going into the complete pose. So you may need to have a little bit more support, a couple of bricks, or maybe books. You can also use a chair for this action. If your hamstrings are really tight, then this action in preparation can be quite challenging. So coming forward, you're going to hinge forward through the front body, lifting out of the pelvis, and then taking the hands down to the bricks or to the floor. But make sure if you're taking your hands to the floor, your knees and legs are not bending. They are absolutely straight. All right, so you're going to start with taking your right leg back. So when you're ready, take your right leg back. Just leave the toes on the floor for a moment. Lift your abdomen. Keep your chest extended, and then take your leg up. So the right leg moves up. Now, when you extend this back leg, it's almost as if this foot is pressing towards the wall. You're going to make sure that this leg is really strong and straight. The thigh bone is lifting up towards the ceiling, but also the buttock. You have to see that the buttock softens the center of the buttock and it releases from the inner buttock to the outer buttock. Keep this action, take a few deep inhalations, be in the pose, and then releasing the leg. And now coming to the other side. And again, same way, extending the leg back as if your leg is pushing so strongly to a wall behind you, lifting the leg, opening the back of the knee, rolling this center buttock from the inside out. So you just got to see that this whole area releases. And remember that Garudasana which we did at the very beginning. You've got to see that these hips are connecting. Those outer hips are moving in nicely so that it's giving you that support. Go on extending through the front body and reach those shoulder blades back towards your back waist. And then slowly releasing the leg down. And standing in Tadasana.
So if that's a difficult action for you, you can always start out by taking the toes to the seat of a chair or heel back to the wall, just to give yourself a little bit of support. It was very nice when Lin was holding my heel for me there on that second side. It does make it more accessible if this is a difficult pose, and many of our students find this a tough pose to do, I would say.
Definitely. When you're beginning, you've just got to train muscle fibers to elongate, and that takes time. So we're coming for seated position now. This is again preparation, Ardha Matsyendrasana, not the full pose again. You may find that you want to sit on some support. Leo's going to take the brick. You can use a cushion, or you can sit on a couple of books, whatever you have handy really. So sitting Dandasana, placing the fingers beside your hips, rolling your shoulders back and down, lifting your sternum and chest. Reaching your heels away from you, lifting up. Be sure that you're lifting from the base of the front body all the way up towards the sternum and chest. And from this position, you're going to bend your right leg.
Something I'd just like to put in at that point is that we find with our students quite frequently when they're sitting or when the legs aren't anchored, that the toes want to do that. Do you find that? Students do that, you know. So you've got to learn to really push the inner heels away in these straight-legged actions.
Yeah, definitely. And again, you can get a little bit of this understanding in the previous pose, the work towards Virabhadrasana III, because you're reaching the leg away. And the same thing here is if you've got a brick wall at the end of the foot, you're going to extend the inner ankles, extend the heels as if you're pushing them to a brick wall.
Okay, so right leg.
Yeah, right leg.
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, so holding on to the shin is a really important stage because this is when you prepare to keep the chest nice and open. You're going to take the right foot over the left leg. Now sometimes you may find that with this action it's only preparational work, that the foot doesn't actually reach the floor. That can happen. So this will change over time, but you can always put your foot onto a book or something that is a little bit more solid than a cushion. So this would work quite well. So if you have got quite stiff hips, stiff hamstrings, then this is the way to go. And it may be that you don't go any further in the pose as we're going to start to create the twisted action. So you pull the leg towards your chest, And this next action is quite challenging because you're hooking your inner elbow towards the shin and getting that turn. And then gradually unfolding the twist and taking your right arm over. Oh, well, it's not your right, actually, it's your left arm. Sorry, we're doing the revision here. Taking your left arm over your right leg is a really nice action on the outer hip. If you find that this is a little bit too extreme, then you can just work at bringing that leg, that lifted leg, in towards your chest. That's quite a nice way of working. Actually getting some movement in your hips. Yeah, getting rid of some of the stoutness in the hips where we sit for long periods of time. And then release it. So it may be that you stay in the pose a little bit longer and just unfold it gradually a little further, Timings are really down to you to work out. We may be going a little bit too quickly for you. So see what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, you can always extend these poses a little longer, and you can always run the clip again and do them over again.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we come to the other side now. So you'll be able to see Leo's lovely faces. Okay. So again, these preparational stages, although we're not going into Garudasana, the classic pose, we're doing a variation of it. But just even in this action, it's so key to learn that posture. When you broaden in the upper body and the chest cavity, you find the difference in your breath, and that's so key. So taking your left leg to the outer side of your right thigh. Good. And then lifting up, getting that action nicely. And then see, can you bring that leg a little bit closer towards you? So it may be that this is the stage you come to. You may be able to go a little bit further. You can see here the elbow hooking to the shin bone. And you may be able to go to the next stage. Oh, this is a little bit tougher, especially if you've got stiff hips or hamstrings. Roll that back shoulder back. So roll the right shoulder back nicely and lift your sternum chest. Broaden across the collarbones. And with these quite deep Twisting actions, you still need to breathe, so don't forget about the breath. This grounded leg needs to be really nice and straight. We talked a little bit about that just now, but you still want to extend into the heel and keep the lift. And now releasing out of the action. So we're going to finish this sequence with Sukhasana.
So I'm sitting up on a height. If you've watched some of the other clips, you will know that Lin sits beautifully in this pose because her hips are very nice and open. Mine are a little stiffer, so I need a little bit of height for sitting in this action. You can always take folded blankets or towels if you don't have yoga pads or bricks.
And just sit in with the spine nicely extended. Roll your shoulders back and down. Just soften the gaze and take a few deeper, longer inhalations and exhalations. So just take a few moments to absorb some of your yoga practice. Become soft in your gaze, soft in the facial features. And you can just be here for as long as you wish to. And this is the end of our sequence. I hope you enjoyed it.
Namaste. We look forward to seeing you next time on Yoga with Lin and Leo. If you like the video, then please do click on like. If you want to leave any comments, feel free to do so, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as we can.
Yes.
Good. I hope to see you soon.